Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's extraordinary session. So, before I get started, just wanted to check whether I'm audible to you or not. If I'm audible, just drop in a yes message in the chat box so we can proceed further. That's great. Everyone has started messaging. Super. Yeah. So, before we get started, let me give you a gist about what we do and who we are. So, Galvanized Global Education provides end-to-end personalized solutions for students and working professionals aspiring to pursue a global degree abroad. We help with personalized test preparation like SAT, GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS. We also help with admission counseling for your bachelor's, master's, MBA, and doctorate degrees abroad. Apart from that, we also help with you finding the right education loan providers, courier services, forex, and student insurance. Galvanized Global Education is founded and managed by alumni of Stanford, IIT Madras, IIM Ahmedabad alums. Students from 65 plus countries have chosen Galvanize. We have helped 1,000 plus help students to get admits to 1,000 plus universities across 18 plus countries. You can see everything over here. USA, UK, Canada, you name the country and we help you with that. You can download our GRE and vocab app from the Android Play Store and App Stores. We have 1 lakh plus users from 195 plus countries and overall rating of 4.5, 4.7 out of 5. So, presenting your host for the day, Miss Uttara Rajashekar. She is graduate from London School of Economics. She has been in the content management and editing domain for past 6 years. She has worked on the application essays of graduate and undergraduate students who have received admits from distinguished universities in the US, UK, Europe, Australia, Singapore, East Asia. Say the country and she's there to help you out. Currently, she heads the editorial team at Galvanize, and any application, any SOP, LOR, or resume submitted to the universities is first checked by her and then forwarded to the university. Without wasting any time, Uttara, here's your stage.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. Just a sec. Just share my screen. Yeah. Okay. Yes, let's get started. So, thank you, Sahil, for the kind words. Yeah. So, hello all. Welcome to this session. My name is Uttara. I'm the editorial manager at Galvanized Global Education. So, I'm going to give a very, general overview of the editorial process and documentation involved in postgraduate study abroad applications. Yes. As some of you may already know, these are the common documents required by most universities. So the first three are the main documents. They are the customary documents that any applicant must focus on completing. That is the resume, SOP, and LORs. All right. So post completing those, one can concentrate on any other ancillary document such as the diversity statement or public history statement, scholarship essay, and all such documents. So I'll be talking about all these documents in a lot of detail in the succeeding slide. Yeah. So, the first thing that I would like to emphasize is that admissions abroad is a very, very holistic process. So the main thing that most master's applicants seem to overlook is that all and any application document needs to be given the required amount of attention and energy, right? So as per my experience, most of the applicants like to only focus on the SOP. and they end up neglecting documents, such as the resume or the LORs, which are equally important and play a vital part in your application journey, right? So another thing that you must keep in mind is that, given the huge volume of documents that every admissions officer is going to be looking at, there is no room for error, and one must ensure all the documents meet the application stipulations or document requirements, right? So the admissions officer or the admissions committee will be examining your entire profile. So how are they going to be doing it? They're going to be looking at the entire application package, which consists of your test scores, your transcripts, your resume, your SOP, your LORs. So they're going to be looking at your academic background, your internships, your professional work experience, if any, and your academic research projects, work experiences, as well as even extracurricular activities. So what I would like to emphasize is that don't fixate on just one particular document. So you need to divide your attention across all the documents. SOP is important, but no admission officer is going to just look at your SOP and give the admit. So it's very important that one focuses on all the documents and not just the SOP, right? Okay. Yes. Next, we are going to be looking at the resume. So, see, the main, trait, characteristic trait or feature of this document is that it needs to be very brief and concise, right? So, the resume must highlight the various aspects of your profile. So, what are they, like education, professional experience? What are the, community welfare activities that you might have done, or, research projects that you might have done? So, what then one more suggestion with regards to resume is that you have to remember that you should keep the word limit, no, sorry, not word limit, page limit must be between 1 or 2 pages. See, most of the US universities ask for a 1 page resume, but if not, at least 2 pages, right? So always make sure that when it comes to resumes, you don't exceed the 2 page mark, right? And as I've stated before, admissions officers go through lots of documents, huge volume of documents. So you need to make sure that your document is crisp and concise, and it does not unnecessarily make the work harder for the admissions committee, right? So a lengthier resume is not going to guarantee admissions, right? Always keep that in mind. All right. Next, yes. So let's look at the do's, the common do's and don'ts of the resume. Now, as I've told previously, as important as it is to be brief, it is also equally important to be truthful and to stick to the facts, right? So, what I would, suggest is that don't exaggerate your resume unnecessarily, don't exaggerate your credentials or, pad your resume too much. And also in most of the resumes that I see at times, I notice that many students like to add their high school marks, grade 10 or grade 12 marks, which is completely unnecessary. For the purposes of PG admissions abroad, the focus is on your undergraduate experience. What is the score in your undergraduate degree, what was your GPA, and if what was your profile during that time. So especially when it comes to marks, they're going to be looking at your undergraduate scores and then transcripts. So nobody is going to be looking at your 12th grade marks or at your high school marks. See, if you've got like India first or state first or something, maybe you're so proud that you want to mention it. Yes, you may, but then the admissions committee is not going to look at your 12th grade marks and consider that as a value add, or will not make the decision based on that, right? Next thing that I wish to discuss is that in an academic resume, it is not necessary to provide one's photograph, right? And also, unlike the job seeking resume, there is no need to use too much of colors or additional graphics in the document. We need to see, it is very important that you maintain a small file size, because at the end of the day all these documents are going to be uploaded onto the university portal. So you don't want to make the document unnecessarily heavy, right? Okay. So these are the stuff that I wanted to discuss with regards to the resume. Let us go to the next slide. All right. Okay. So in this slide, we're going to be looking at, a sample of a plagiarized content in the resume. You might be wondering, how can a resume be plagiarized? But yes, there are certain students who do that. So as you can see from the points provided, it is very obvious that these points actually pertain to a job description. These are like generalized job descriptions that, you can find in, popular job sites like LinkedIn, Naukri, such kind of job sites like, so these are like posted when a company is going to be looking for, say, in this case, a data science or an analytical, role. So there is nothing specific that is given in these points about the applicant. See, in the sense, none of the points are talking about the applicant's contribution to his or her work experience, or no mention of any particular data science project or any particular client that they've handled. So it seems to be like a very generalized content, strong oral and written communication, ability to tell a story, be willing to learn quickly. These are all very, very generalized points, right? Nothing specific. So this is a big giveaway to anybody reading that this does not look specific to the applicant. It is not about that particular candidate. These are very generalized points, and it's not just by reading that the admissions committee or the admissions officer is going to realize. So all universities use all kinds of plagiarism software, and so if they're going to run this through some software, and then if it gets picked up, then a high chances of your application package to be disqualified, right? So it is very important that you do not copy paste from the internet or plagiarize any kind of content for any document, starting right from the resume. All right, next. Yes. So let's begin with everybody's favorite document, which is the SOP, that is the statement of purpose. So this is the most popular application document that everybody will immediately recognize, right? SOP might also go by the name of personal essay or personal statement or letter of motivation also. So let us look at certain key aspects of the SOP. These are the aspects that every SOP must contain. So why do you wish to study this particular subject? And you need to ensure that you back up your inclination by talking about your educational background, and as well as what are the academic research projects, internships, and online courses that you've done. Also, do mention any challenges that you might have faced at work or while studying, and how did you overcome them, right? And make it a point to mention all group work and team leadership work that you've done. And most importantly, never forget to talk about your future goals and ambitions, right? Basically, your career aspirations. This also is a very important part of, the SOP. Another crucial factor in every SOP is the word count, right? There is, generally a common misconception that lengthier SOPs are better. That is hardly the case, since most, admissions committees will have very limited time to go through your entire package or to go through, every SOP. So when it comes to, the word limit, considering the volume of applications, you have to make sure that your SOP is not too lengthy and it is not too exhausting to, read and finish. So it is very important that, when you're going to draft the SOP, you need to sit and brainstorm and decide which information you need to put in and which information you can withhold. Not, every bit of your story cannot be added into the SOP, right? All right. Next, let us, look at the structure of a statement of purpose. So when it comes to the structure, the SOP is like any other essay, right? So it is going to follow the regular introduction, body, and conclusion structure. That is a given, right? So in between this format, you need to be adding all the, particular information. So let us look at what you'll be adding first in the introductory paragraph. So you need to start with a good attention getter. What is the attention getter? It can be a quote or a personal anecdote. I will talk more about attention getter in the subsequent slides. All right. So along with the attention getter in the introduction, I would like you to, explicitly state and mention the exact program name and title that you are targeting, right? So you must discuss that as well along with the attention getter and a brief description about, your profile. So all that needs to come in the introduction. Next is, the body of the essay. So this is going to be different paragraphs, maybe I would say 2 to 3 paragraphs. So in the body of the essay, the body of the SOP, you're going to be describing your undergraduate experience. If you've got, if you started working somewhere, then, your professional experience can be explained in a separate paragraph. And then, one paragraph about any co-curricular or, any research projects that you've done. So make a note to, emphasize on the learnings, right? It should not be like a passive retelling or, a passive storytelling of what you did. You should rather, make it relevant to why exactly what you study this program. So you need to like emphasize what did you learn from, every experience. That is very crucial. It should not be like, a very passive retelling of the resume, right? Okay. So now finally, we're going to be looking at the conclusive paragraphs. So what should you include in the concluding paragraphs of the SOP? So you can have more than one concluding paragraph. It's not essentially that it should be just one. So you need to, talk about why this particular university. So a little bit of content on, why you want to study at the particular university that you're applying to. And also, a bit of information about what you want to do after this degree or after this program. So this is also very crucial. So by adding this information, you're explaining why is it, that you're doing this program and what exactly you're going to be gaining from this program. So this is very important because this shows the admissions officer that, this degree is a part of your career goal or, it is a part of your life plan. So they need to see what are the future goals and ambitions that you hope to achieve via this degree. So make sure that you add that as well as a part of your conclusive paragraphs. All right? Right. Yes. Now let us take deeper look at attention getters and what are they. So first we're going to look at quotes. So first, what is the attention getter? So attention getter is basically a literary device and it is used to catch the attention of the reader in the very beginning of the essay itself. So in this case, our reader is going to be the university admissions officer. And so this ensures that, the university admissions officer or the admissions committee is, able to go through the essay properly right from the start. In the sense, it grabs the, attention of the admissions committee so that they read the entire SOP fully, so that they don't get bored. See, a boring first paragraph is a big letdown and, it might put off readers. So it's very important to, snatch the attention of the admissions officer right from the start. So this can be, achieved through many multiple ways, but the most popular way with regards to an SOP is, by using a quote or an anecdote. So what is a quote? So there are, lots of popular quotes. What are quotes? Quotes are like, sayings or, dialogues by popular people, basically their ideas and their thoughts, notable remarks by, people pertaining to your domain or your industry. So there are lots of popular quotes that can be utilized, and make sure that you select a quote that is, from a person who is like, relevant to your domain or your field, or, is in some way connected to the experience that you wish to talk about. So that is important. So, there is no point taking a irrelevant quote. So always make sure that the quote and the person who stole the quote is also, somebody related to your field. Yeah. So as you can see in this slide, we've just listed examples of few popular quotes, from the data science and analytics domains, right? So many students like these quotes. There are many such quotes. This is just a little example. There are lots of popular quotes that you can easily find out. Okay, so enough about quotes. Next, Oh yeah, this is, with regards to anecdotes. So what is an anecdote? So this is, the anecdote is also a form of attention getter. So what is the anecdote? Anecdote is basically, a short, memorable or witty incident, meaningful incident from your life, right? And you are able to connect that and, insert it into your SOP. As in, basically, it should be an experience or, something that is also related, obviously, to, your program of study. So as you can see from the example, given in the slide, so in this, what they've done is that, the person is talking about their favorite childhood memory of, watching cricket. Who doesn't like cricket, right? At least the Indians are very crazy about cricket. So, basically in this, the applicant has connected their, childhood memory of watching cricket and being interested and intrigued by the predictions of runs, wickets, and other such match statistics and match analytics. This can be applied to many sports. Every sport has got sport analytics. It's not just cricket. Every other sport has got some kind of analytics or the other, actually. So, in this case, this applicant connects his fondness for cricket and cricket match analytics to, his interest to study for a master's in data science or a master's in, big data analytics. So this makes for a very nice and personable attention getter. Because this way, when the essay or the SOP is being started like this, it adds a very personal touch that naturally draws the reader to read the rest of the statement of purpose. All right. Next is, we're going to be looking at a SWOT exercise. Or, why does the SWOT exercise help with the statement of purpose? So what does SWOT imply? SWOT refers to, this is very common. Most of you might already know what a SWOT implies. So SWOT refers to strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? So before you begin drafting your SOP, I feel it will be a very good exercise is if every applicant is able to do a simple SWOT analysis or a SWOT exercise about their profile. It's not going, it need not be very time taking or, energy consuming. You not write pages, but a very simple SWOT analysis. So, by doing a SWOT analysis, you'll be able to identify the areas that are your strength and accordingly highlight them and showcase your suitability for the program. So, for example, if you are a numerically inclined person, you're good in math and stats, and you are also say good with programming, you can easily connect yourself to the fact that you'll be suitable for a data science program or a machine learning master's degree or a master's in artificial intelligence, so all such domains. So similarly, any opportunities that you see in your field can be used as reasons as to why you want to study this master's degree. See, it is common knowledge that big data analytics is presently a very popular course, and it is required across multiple sectors, data science. So hence, anyone with data science knowledge will likely land a job or secure a good role immediately in across diverse sectors. So that is a very good opportunity, in fact, right? So you could allude to that as well in your statement of purpose. Okay. Now, when it comes to weaknesses and threats, so you need to look at them as potential areas for growth. So, obviously you should not, explicitly state yet that, this is where I'm bad at, but, the words need to be phrased in such a manner that, you need to show that these are like areas for improvement or areas for growth, which you wish to attain through this master's degree, right? That is the job, or that's the gap that this education is going to help you fill, right? So this may be in terms of your knowledge. You might need that you want to update your skills, and maybe at your workplace there is the particular technical challenge that you're unable to overcome, or you just feel that you need this higher education to improve your career, and enhance your professional trajectory. So no matter what the weakness or threats, they can be handled through the pursuit of further studies. So this is what we are trying to emphasize through the SOP. So you should be able to tell that this degree is going to help me overcome these areas of weakness, right? So this kind of reasoning, this kind of insight in the SOP will impress upon the minds of the admissions officer as to why you must pursue this master's program, and also highlight your suitability for this concerned field, right? All right. This is about the SWOT analysis. Next, let us look at the do's and don'ts of the statement of purpose. So the first thing that, I've been telling every single year is that please always start writing your SOP soon, right? This is time taking process, and SOP writing calls for a lot of self introspection, as you can see from, whatever we discussed previously. You need to take a long time to, introspect about your past, your life experiences, and, then jot down whichever is relevant. You cannot input everything. It has to be relevant to, the theme of the essay, right? So do not wait till the week of the application deadline to begin with your draft. Many times I feel, right, while elaborately talking about your field of study, many applicants forget to talk or, mention about their, program title or what exactly is the specialization. They, this, you might be surprised, but this happens more than often. So, you need to make sure that when you're, writing the SOP, please ensure that, you mention the exact program name and, specialization that you intend to pursue. This is something that you need to do. And next is, please, you must use formal English. Do not use like, local slangs or, colloquialisms or, informal or casual words, right? You're not intending the essay to your friend. It is to be read by a university professor, right? Next is, follow university instructions very clearly, adhere to the word limit stipulations. I'll be elaborating about this, in the next slide. Again, just like the resume, I would say be honest. Do not copy paste content from the SOP templates available online. There are diamond dozen SOP templates available, but please do not copy paste. If it gets picked up by any kind of software, your application package will be disqualified, right? Next is, one more point that I would like to add is that please avoid controversial statements that relate to politics or religion anywhere in your SOP. All right. As obviously, unless and until, you're a sociology student or something that demands religion or, politics to be mentioned, then, you are free to do that. But unnecessarily do not, mention very extremist views in the statement of purpose. The SOP is not the place to do that, right? Do not express any kind of, personal extremist views. Okay. Next, we are going to be looking at customizing the statement of purpose to university specification. So as an applicant, right, please take care to customize your SOP to every university that you're applying for. See, obviously you'll be having, at least, 3 to 4 universities, if not 10 or 15 to apply. So it's very important that you add some information about why this particular university is attractive to you, right? At least one paragraph worth of content dedicated to that particular university is a must. So say if you're applying to New York University, NYU, that is, then your SOP must be customized to NYU's specifications. So what do I mean when I say specification? So university specific content basically involves certain unique aspects, right, that attract you as the applicant to study there. You can include content about coursework modules, internships, project options, renowned faculty in the department, academic or social clubs, right? Submitting a customized SOP ensures that you stand out against other applicants, which is a big deal. So, who have not taken the effort to actually go through the program website thoroughly. See, basically by adding a university specific paragraph, you're showing that you've, gone the extra mile and taken the effort to actually go through the website, do research and, jot down points that you are finding attractive, that you are finding applicable to, your profile. So even if you've got a very average profile, but by showing that you have done your research regarding that particular program, that particular university, in terms of just browsing through the website, researching about the groups that they've got, the syllabus that they have, the courses that they've got, the program, the nature of the program, and the faculty, the infrastructure. So if you're able to talk a little bit about all this, you are actually showing that you are a very determined prospective student, isn't it? And this will create a good and a positive impact in the minds of the admissions committee. And this is our ultimate goal. Correct. So it is very important that every student writes at least one small paragraph customizing every SOP to that particular university. Okay. Right. Just a sec. Seeing his back, he's running here. Okay. Next, let us look at some of the unique questions in the SOP. Like these are some of unique SOP question samples actually, and you can find these kind of questions especially in management and marketing masters programs, right? So many MBA and Masters in Management, MS in Engineering Management programs, and certain distinguished universities, like Ivy Leagues and, the top 20 and all that, they are known to ask these kind of very unique, quirky, and, introspective questions instead of, a normal SOP. So if you look at this, I wouldn't say this is the SOP. These are like, application questions. So these are asked instead of the SOP. So what this means is that nothing to worry. So generally you will be able to answer these questions. The content you will need will be similar to the ones you will require to frame the SOP anyway, right? So any unusual questions, then you might need to self-reflect a little bit, but mostly you will be able to use your SOP, or this is going to follow a similar concept just like a SOP. So the slide shows you a few samples just so that you can get an idea about the kind of questions that are asked. As you can see, University of Chicago is asking about personal growth, on about professional development. So it is saying, in addition to sharing your experiences and goals in terms of career, we'd like to learn more about you outside of the office. So it's not just about inside the office, outside. So use this opportunity to tell us something about who you are. So it's not just talking about what you did in terms of just working, but outside of it as well. So as you can see, these questions are very unique and quirky. So you might need to spend some time thinking about the points that you want to enter. Right? All right. Okay, next. So let us have a close look at some of the unique cases that we've had at Galvanize, right? Swaraj Bhosle, right? This boy was a very bright student with a well-accomplished profile. In his SOP, the standout feature was the university-specific paragraph that encapsulates why his interests align with that of the university, right? So please remember, many students do not get the value of adding a para to the SOP that concentrates on what exactly does the target university offer. But let us look at a excerpt from his SOP, right? So what does this say? So the Technical University of Munich is known for its well-designed curriculum and research practices on earth-oriented space science and technology. I am inspired to perform cutting-edge research in this area as I was a part of the NOE tracking and analysis program at my university center. So he's basically drawing a parallel between his experience at his undergraduate university and to his aspirations to work on similar subjects and projects at TUM, with regards to what TUM is offering. So basically, he's, connecting his past, what he has done to, what he wants to do at TUM. All right. Then he is also stating that, I'm also interested to work on the design and testing of federated inter-satellite links. And, given my experience in developing CubeSat for my nation. So again, over here, he is connecting the fact that, he would like to work on PUM's satellite network, given his prior experience of, helping with CubeSat, right? Basically, it was, I think, using an internship that he had done. So at every sentence in the university specific paragraph, we are reiterating how his profile and specific research and academic interests perfectly align with that of, what the university is offering, right? So this kind of a university specific paragraph goes a long way in ensuring the reader, that is the admissions officer, is made aware of how suitable the candidate is to the particular program and the university. Okay. Next, another interesting case is that of, Samant Krishna. Let us, yeah, Samant Krishna. Yeah. So as you can see, he is a doctor and, very, very interesting and, very good profile. So he has secured a seat in the prestigious Johns Hopkins University for the Masters of Public Health, right? So let us take a closer look at his SOP excerpt. Yeah. So, you can see the emotional connect immediately. So he's, this is basically an anecdote. So he's talking about an incident. So once I saw a single mother unable to purchase life-saving drugs for her child suffering from leukemia, right? So next is healthcare for all implies not only accessibility, but also affordability. So these incidents reinforced my determination to pursue public health. So this paragraph from his SOP beautifully captures the essence of why he chose to pursue MPH, right? It is very important to bring out unique, stories or anecdotes that have enabled the candidate to take a step forward to their particular higher education program and subject. In the above mentioned excerpt, Samant has detailed certain very touching, very real examples from his life that, highlights what views and events that sculpted his interest towards public health. The reasons he has shed a light on why he must pursue this program and how the learnings from this program can be used to mitigate public health crisis faced by many nations, right? So every SOP, should contain a paragraph like this. It is, it is emotional and it also points to why the candidate is, very determined or very motivated to do this program, right? Okay. Next, this is the final candidate. His name is Mr. Nagaraj. He is pursuing an exciting master's in fine arts in interactive design and game development. So from where is he pursuing? From the prestigious Savannah College of Arts and Design, right? His bachelor's is in engineering. All right. Okay. So let's look at a part of the SOP. So, in this section, he's talking about his career goals and ambitions. This is, as I've been telling, very important and imperative because it shows to the admissions committee as to why this program will add value to this candidate's life or this candidate's career pathway, right? So he's talking, about he's given the names of companies like Ubisoft, Rockstar Gaming, and he's also told that he would like to set his own company, right? So all this explains to the reader that Nagaraj has made plans that deals with him completing the concerned master's program and utilizing or applying the learnings in the real world. Right. So discussing your life goals and career aspirations lets the admissions officer know that you're very serious towards completing this graduate degree. Okay. Yeah. Now, yes, let's move on to the letter of recommendation. Now that we have spoken about the SOP in a lot of detail, let's move on to the next document. So when it comes to LOR, as you can see in the slide, LORs are basically formal letters. So, these can be by either a faculty or, an employer, as in, any corporate personnel. So this basically depends on whether you're a working professional or a university student. So if you're a working professional, then you can, I would say, go ahead with like a combination of recommenders, maybe two from your workplace, one from your college, or you've been in the workforce for long, then you can choose to have a all corporate list of recommenders from your places of employment, right? So generally, 3 LORs are required. Some universities only ask for 2. So you must check via the university website for the number of recommendations required, right? Make sure that you choose valuable recommenders who have interacted with you for at least 6 months or more and can, vouch for your academic, credibility. This is very, very crucial. So the LOR is going to be a formal letter format. LOR will describe the recommender's opinion on your suitability to the program, right? Yeah. So this can be, via experiences that the recommender has observed of you, like, via projects that you've undertaken, or, any kind of interaction with colleagues, or, how did you perform in their particular subject, that kind of thing. Let us look at the do's and don'ts of a LOR, right? Coming to the do's and don'ts of LORs, ensure your LOR is not filled with too many superlative adjectives, right? It is going to look very, very false and inauthentic. See, I've given you 2 sample sentences, right? So as you can see, that it is overstuffed with, too many superlative adjectives. It's not like ordinary. It's not like it doesn't have that, authentic tone to it, right? So sentences such as these will look very cliche, right? I and based on my experience, I've noticed that this issue arises when the students try to draft the LORs and the recommender just agrees to sign. So many times, faculties and colleges are very busy, and that time the student ends up drafting the LOR and just getting the signature. So in such a situation, there is a high scope of, too many self-praising words being utilized. So make sure that you don't do that. Get your LOR, read by somebody else, read by the professors properly before you submit it, right? So like many other application documents, LOR must also not exceed 1 page. The average length, I would say, is, around 500 words or so. But within a single page, you can even fit 650 words, right? But again, a lengthy LOR is not the goal, right? The endorsement given by the recommender, that must shine through the LOR. That is the, end goal. Yeah. Also, because this document is written by the recommenders, the language used must be very dignified, professional, and formal. Okay. All right, next we're going to be looking at the research statement. Research statement is not a very popular document. It's not required for all programs. Mostly it's required for, PhD programs and some very research intensive master's programs. So the admissions committee uses this document to see, to basically like measure whether you're prepared for the research work that is entailed in that particular program. So in this essay, you need to recount any of your past research experiences, any kind of research exposure that you've got, right? So all of that needs to be explained. And depending on prior research experience of the applicant, the length of the essay varies, right? But still, I would say, it's best to stick to 2 pages, 1 or 2 page research statement, right? This is a statement, it's not a proposal. Don't get confused between research proposal and research statement. That is an entirely different document. All right, next is, let us look at yes, diversity statement. So this is increasingly becoming very popular. It's a very popular essay, especially for master's applicants. So basically, diversity statements look for areas through which the candidate shows unique experiences that are different from the rest of the cohort, right? So in this essay, you can focus on your social work, your volunteering activities, and in what way have you contributed to diversity and equity efforts, right, in your past. So and it can also be very unusual or unique life experiences, or maybe unique traits, like you might be fluent in many languages, like bilingual or trilingual, and maybe you've done academic research that is focused on maybe societal or educational problems as they affect underserved populations. So that kind of thing is also very unique, and that adds to the diversity of your profile, right? And lastly, one important point that you must keep in mind is that don't repeat the same content as in the SOP in the diversity statement. Please don't repeat the same content. Okay. Next. Next, we're going to be talking about the personal history statement. This is actually, quite similar to the diversity statement actually. So a personal history statement looks for like challenging triumphs in the personal and personal life of the applicant. So this can be socio-economic challenges or, family concerns, financial issues. The personal history statement provides the background about who you are and how the experiences have shaped your interests and your ability to overcome the said challenges. So, for example, if you're from an army background, right? Armed services, and thereby because of that you've shifted many schools while you were growing up. Basically, if your parents are serving in the armed forces or army, there are high chances of you moving different cities. So because of that kind of a growth, because of that kind of a childhood, you would have developed a proficiency in multiple languages, right? You'd have developed an understanding of different cultures and community because of your exposure, right? So all these are contributing factors that can be written as good points in your personal history statement, right? So next is, you might also be like the first person in your family to go abroad and study, or wish to study abroad. So even that makes for like a very interesting point. So it is very rare for universities to ask for both diversity and personal history statement together, because both the statements are kind of similar. So most of the universities ask for either one, along with the SOP, right? Again, in the personal history statement, do not repeat the same content as it is in the SOP. Okay. Next, we're going to be looking at the scholarship essay. This is, a very straightforward document. So in this, you'll be applying, you'll be using this essay if in case you're applying to any particular scholarship. So what do you need to make sure in this essay? So please make sure that you first identify the purpose of the scholarship, identify, why exactly the university instituting this scholarship. There are, specific scholarships for women in engineering, specific scholarships for, certain minorities. So you need to see if this is one such scholarship and if you're, qualifying for that, right? And if that is the case, then, you need to like kind of connect and input all those points into the essay, right? Also, you need to talk about utilizing the scholarship money, like why, what are you going to be, how exactly is this scholarship money going to be helpful for you, like how is it going to help you achieve your long-term goals. Basically, you need to connect to the fact that because of this scholarship you're going to be able to study this program, and because of that eventually you're going to be able to attain your career goals. So that connection needs to be made. And I would say add at least like one or two benefits to the university's mission in offering you the scholarship, right? So connect to what the university is offering. Also, please talk about any kind of personal, professional, or academic circumstances that show you in a very very good light, in a very positive light. Basically, all the awards or achievements that you've got, is highlight all those in this essay. So that shows that you deserve the scholarship, right? We need to show why you are a worthy candidate. And highlighting all your strong points ensures that you stand a fighting chance of securing a difficult scholarship, right? Okay. Next, I think we're done with all the document discussion. But now let me talk about Galvanize a little bit. At Galvanize Global Education, we've got in place a team of trained editors who got experience relevant to the domain. Right, our process is pretty transparent. So you'll be knowing what is happening to all your documents. The applicants can get in touch with the editors via the Google Doc comments feature, and also contact your counselors as well. So we follow strict editorial guidelines, and we always check for plagiarism also. So we ensure that the documents are error free through the use of proofreading and build Google Doc spell checks, right? Yeah. So let us look at the content collection and communication process that we follow. So as I've mentioned before, for all the documents applicants, you will need to provide the initial inputs or the basic content. So that is going to be used by the editing team or the editors, for framing the essays. So whatever you give is the essence that will be used in the essays, right? In addition to the above, you must also remember that you can interact with the editors using the Google Doc feature, commenting feature. So this is, the primary tool for communication with the editor. It is a very simple, easy to use tool, and you can make all essential edits through notifying via this tool. Okay. Next, this is the document pathway. Basically, the different stages of, what every document will go through. So once the applicants have provided the initial input, then, the editor will work on it, come up with the first draft. Then the applicant and the editor will be, suggesting more modifications, and which will create more drafts. So once both the parties are satisfied, and then, the draft will be finalized, right? Yes. So what you're able to see on your screen is basically a snapshot, screenshot of the galvanized portal. So I would like to point out some specific areas, right, within the galvanized portal where the applicant, where you as the applicant can view the document guidelines and the FAQs. So under the overview section, you can view general information about every document, right? So as you can see, there is information about the resume, statement of purpose, and the letter of recommendation. So the guidelines are given for all the documents. So if you click on them, you'll be able to find personalized guidelines for every document, right? So please make sure that you go through all these resources. All right, next is, I think we've come to the end. Right. So, now what I would like to emphasize is that, we follow a very systematic editorial process, right? And we've got a good team. So we will, but nevertheless, we require the cooperation of the applicants in terms of, submitting the initial inputs on time and, communicating your doubts and concerns, right? So all this will ensure that you are able to submit, excellent essays well before the application deadline. Okay. All right. So, thank you so much for listening to the session. Hope this webinar has been informative. Yeah. On to you, Sahil.
Thanks, Uttara. That was really wonderful.
Yeah.
So we give you a 5 minute break.
Yeah.
I would request all the participants who are interested to ask their questions. You can directly post in the chat box. So we'll give 5 minutes break to Uttara. Until then, I'll just share a few insights about Galvanize, what we do, and how we help people. So our top admits, basically, what does it mean? Sorry. Meet Harbrita Pal. We have helped her to get an admit to MIT, which is ranked #1 for her PhD in electric engineering and computer science. She's basically from IIT Roorkee. She had an overall CGPA of 9.42 and a GRE score of 326. With this, we have helped her to get an admit in MIT. Apart from that, we have Sumit K from BITS Pilani. He did his BTech in mechanical engineering, had a wonderful CGPA of 7.96, a GRE score of 320. He has done a couple of internships. He has got an admit in University of Pennsylvania in MS in electrical engineering. University of Pennsylvania is ranked 12th by QS World Ranking. Then we have Priyanka from BITS Hyderabad. She did her undergrad in chemical engineering. Her CGPA is 9.7, which is really awesome. GRE score of 322, TOEFL score of 105. She co-authored a book, a paper, excuse me. She got an admit in Imperial College London for his MS in Advanced Material and Science and Engineering, ranked 2. She also got a fellowship of £55,000. Then we have Pawan from Manipal Institute of Technology, who did his undergrad in BTech Mechanical Engineering, IELTS score of 6.5, CGP of 8.99. He got an admit in Berkeley, University of California, MS in Mechanical Engineering, ranked 3rd for Mechanical Engineering program in the US. Then meet Shyam, who is from IIT Madras, did his undergraduate in electrical engineering, got an overall CGPA of 9.04, GRE score of 317, TOEFL of 110. He got an admit in LMU for his master's in data science, ranked 54 by QS World Rankings. Meet Shushan, he did his undergrad from electronics engineering, got an admit to Columbia University, which is ranked 17th. Then we have Shweta R from RV College of Engineering. She did her BTech in telecommunication and got an admit in Cornell University, which is again ranked 13th in the QS World Ranking. Then we have Shyam from IIT Kanpur, who got admit to ETH Zurich for his MS in Statistics, ranked 7 and top universities across the world. Aishwarya M, who is from VIT Vellore, did her BTech in biotechnology, got admit in John Hopkins, which is famous for its biotechnology and it's very difficult to get over there. Then how Galvanize will help you? We have our top rated mobile apps used by 1 million plus users from 195 plus countries. We have personalized test prep for GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, SAT, 65, customers from 65 plus countries use our paid services. We have an average score improvement of 20 percentile. We have online admission counseling where the admission acceptance rate is like 99%, where we help students to get admits in 16 plus countries for over 140 plus specializations. How this works basically? Here are some advantages for our test prep courses: personalized study plan, unlimited ask an expert, in-depth analytics and feedback, personalized AWS scoring, practice questions, full-length mock tests, updated test pattern, most affordable, complete solution, know where you stand, easy way of learning, and expert guidance. Like you can access our portal 24/7. So how our admission counseling works? So first we have a profile evaluation call based on the student's profile. Then we shortlist universities in 3 different categories: ambitious, practical, and safe. Then the documentation process. We help with visa counseling. We let you know what are the documents required. We also conduct mock interviews. Then we help with financing, education loan. We do with pre-departure services. Last but not the least, generally people pay a lot of money for this profile evaluation. Today we are giving it for free. I have shared the link on the chat box. You can also see a link on the screen. We have last 10 slots left. Click the link, avail the free profile evaluation. I'll pause my screen over here. So many people are asking, like, can we get the recording of the session? Yes, you can find the video on our YouTube channel. We'll be sharing you soon once the session is over. Guys, please post your questions so Uttara can answer it. Uttara, if there is any questions which they have sent you directly on the chat.
Yes, I can just see like
you're on mute, I guess.
Questions. Which question?
Just 1 second. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So basically, there is one question that is, asking about the cost of the service that we are providing. I think that is something that, the counselor or, the salespeople can answer. I'm not aware of the cost.
I request you to fill up the profile evaluation form, which I've shared it to you, because our prices varies from product to product and your profile. Okay. Is there any other questions?
Yes, so basically there is another question. This is, with regards to if there are any websites, that give guidance for SOP apart from Galvanize, open source websites. See, I would say, most of the universities itself, they've got like, like a writing advisory section or a page within, their portal. Most of the universities have got like, all the top universities. So you can just go through the university web pages and they will give you guidelines about, making SOPs and all that. So almost all the universities have got Harvard, Stanford, name it. So they've got. So you just need to, Google and find out the guiding pages. Other than that, I suppose like, British Council, such kind of, sites also give a lot of information about writing SOPs and LORs. There are lots of sites. You just need to Google. But I would suggest, go to the university web pages itself. They give like the best, ideas and guidelines.
So hurry up, guys. We have last 5 slots left for your profile evaluation. It will be evaluated by one of the top admission expert at Galvanized Global Education. It's completely free. I request everyone to make use of this wonderful opportunity which is provided to you. So there is a question from Om Prakash Utra.
What
So
is it?
LOR,
I'm not
SOP are the only document required for the universities?
What was the question? I didn't catch it. Can you just repeat it? Sorry.
So SOP, LOR are the
Ah.
only documents required for the universities?
See, those are like definitely required by the universities, but on top of those, you might be requiring, the diversity statement or, a scholarship essay. So all those are like additional documents that you might require. That you will know, like, only when you go and read the university, specification. Say you want to apply to MS in computer science, definitely you'll be needing the SOP and the LORs. But on top of that, do you need a diversity statement? Or do you need a scholarship essay? All that you'll know only when you go to the website and decide, right? Yeah, check. Yes. Is there like any other questions, Sahil?
Yeah, I'm just... Guys, any other questions?
That, yeah, I can see one question. If we don't have any research experience, then is it possible to get admission in the PhD program? See, PhD itself implies like you need to be doing research. So, maybe you've done your master's, and you would, as a part of your master's, I'm sure you would have done at least, the thesis project, right? The final year thesis project, or the final semester project, or a major project, or whatever it is called. So that can be considered as, a research project. But that being said, PhD programs are very competitive, so you need to make sure that you've got some kind of research experience. So I will not say it is impossible to get in. You might not be able to get into very good universities, but you can get into some universities, even if you've not got a lot of research experience. But if you're doing a PhD, then you need to build that research aspect in your profile. So because if you build that and then apply, then your chances of going to a good university is higher.
So there's one more question, like how much CGPA matters for getting admissions?
See, basically, as you've seen, like, we showed like 3 profiles, right? So in that, 2 of the students had got very good CGPAs test scores. The last person, he did not have that good, CGPA. But then, depending on, the nature of your program, like, if it is going to be a very competitive program, and also the ranking of the university that you're targeting, your CGPA will, matter. But as such, I would say, you should have like a minimum of 60% or above. So that would be like on the safer side. If you've got anything lesser than that, then you might, like, I'm implying, if you got 50% or something, I would say please, it'll be better if you're able to show some work experience, or additional online certifications or all that, to show that on top of your academics, you've, like, gone on and got some professional experience, as well as you're able to show your interest towards the subject by doing like online certifications. Top 90% means 9 CGPA. See, yeah, I mean, like, what is the question? Like, I'm not able to understand the question. Top 90% means 9 CGPA. See, 9 CGPA is a good CGPA, and obviously you can try and apply to the top universities. But that being said, just because you've got an excellent CGPA does not guarantee getting into, very difficult universities, but it's always good to have, a good CGPA. Undergraduate GPA is important after all. Okay. Any other questions? What is the GRE score for getting into a good university? See, I would say, see, again, every university has got its own stipulations, but I think, minimum you need like, about 300, 310, like that. So I would say if you're applying to like very competitive schools, like Georgia Tech or MIT and all that, definitely need, I would say, more than 320 or 315 at least, right? As in, we should be in the top 10%. Does it require to, does it equate to 9 CGPA or lower? Yes. See, if you're in the top 10%, then I think, it is like more than 9 CGP only. That depends on, the way your university is, ranking in the transcripts, marking the grades in the transcripts. Okay, that's it, Sahil. Are there like any other questions that I need to go through? I'm just scrolling up. What is the cost of the website? Mm. Yeah, I think I've answered all the questions. I don't think there are any more questions. If there are any more questions, please feel free to post them over here.
I guess that's it, Uttara. There are no more questions.
All right, sounds good. Okay,
Sounds good.
thank you, Sahil.
Thanks, Uttara. Thanks for the wonderful session.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Bye bye.